Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have quite a large haul. This is going to be a Sephora haul. So of course I will link everything that I share today down below in my description box, as well as all of the makeup that I am wearing. If you do like Sephora hauls, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. But let's go ahead and get into what I picked up from Sephora recently. So let's go ahead and start off with one of the newer brands that is now at Sephora. I love Cycler so much. I've been raving about them long before they were at Sephora. I saw them originally on TikTok, purchased a couple items, and then I've gone back multiple times. But I did grab one of these new products. This is the Cycler Sacred Santal In Shower Body Oil Balm. So I already talked about this in my favorites. If you did not see it, I will link it. I talked about the Vanilla Verve scent, but this and Vanilla Verve are my top picks. So what you do with this is you apply this to your skin in the shower once you're done showering. So you shower, turn the water off, and then apply this to wet skin in the shower, and it will have this really nice, like moisturizing, oily feel. And then you just get out of the shower and towel dry as normal, and it just leaves you with the most delicious smelling, hydrated skin. It does not feel sticky. It just gives you that beautiful moisturized feel if you're somebody that does not like to do lotion. Like me, I can definitely be lazy, and this is a game changer. So I have been loving this. This is my favorite. It's been in my shower, so it looks a little bit dirty. And then also Vanilla Verve. Really everything from Cycler I have absolutely loved, except for I haven't tried the deodorant, and I don't really love the perfume roll-ons. That would be the only two things that I would tell you to skip. Everything else is top tier, with my top picks being the shower oil balm, and then also the body wash is incredible. I did also restock on my current favorite leave-in hair conditioner. They sent this in PR, but I am literally like down to here. I'm scraping the rest of this out. So I went ahead and picked up another bottle. This is the K18 Heat Bounce Conditioning Heat Protectant. So what I find this does for my hair is really just gives it some hydration. It does help with protecting my hair when I use heat, and it doesn't weigh it down. That's what I look for. I need something that detangles because I do have a lot of hair. It's very fine, but it gets tangled and really heavy. And this does that without weighing it down. So I use probably like 7 sprays. I flip my head over and then really work it in mids to ends. And I just have been missing this. I stopped using it for a few weeks and I felt like my hair was not behaving the way that I wanted it to. So I went back to this, and my hair has been back to just being more manageable, especially like my broken areas. They tend to get really like wavy and curly and drive me insane, and this really does tame them. I've actually had really good luck with K18 overall. I started using their bond treatment like consistently, like the last 5 washes, because again, I was getting a little bit lax and my hair is just behaving much more manageably for me. So I've been a huge fan of them, and I definitely had to restock this one. Next, I want to talk about some new makeup launches that I'm so excited that I got my hands on. Kennedy is taking a massive drink, if you hear that. Earlier, she was having a tussle with her bone, and I was like, ma'am, can we settle down? It's a little bit loud. But I did finally pick up 2 of the YSL blush shades. Now, these are new. I originally picked up the light pink, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get any of the other shades. There's 3 new shades. They just looked a little bit deep for me, but I did ultimately decide to get these 2. Now I think that this light pink you can't get at Sephora right now. I'll have it linked where you can get it. The whole chasing makeup is like doing my head in. I talked about this in a previous video, but this is the new shade in 10. So I have the other pink from them, but this one seems to be more shimmery. I'm not sure if this is going to be a suitable blush for me personally. I almost feel like this one would be more of a highlight for me. And then I did also grab shade 66. This one looked really pretty. I kept seeing people get it online. Now these are both the satin finish. You can see that they both have that really pretty glow to them, but I just feel like the deeper shade is a little bit more approachable, and I think it's just that the pink is just really light. Like it's too light to give me blush pigment. So I still have to try this on the cheeks, but I am a huge fan of this formula. I like the matte version and also the satin. They're just creamy, they're not powdery, they're not overly pigmented, but not sheer. So I'm really excited to try these, but I think honestly, I'll probably like this one more just because this one I feel like it's gonna be more of a highlighter and not a blush like I had wanted. Another new launch that I just decided I needed was the brand new Freedom Everyday Magic Palette from Danessa Myricks. So Danessa Myricks came out with this like mega palette the end of last year, I wanna say. And it had something like this and then two other kind of mix and match palettes. I was gonna say quads, but 6 pans. I didn't get it just because I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna use those bright colors enough to justify, but I know that her palettes are so loved. They did end up sending me the palette after I already purchased it, but I was wearing this in one of my previous videos and I really had a great time with this formula. So the mattes, I love the variation and they are so incredibly pigmented. This black matte is insane. I use this as liner in my video, just incredibly pigmented. And then you have two different formulas of shimmer. Both of them are extremely, extremely intense, but you have this like chunky, almost liquid. I mean, wow. When I say chunky, I mean when you look at it in the pan and when you touch it, it almost has that like flaky cream feel. The effect of this is insane. And then you have a standard metallic, but it's like bam, like a foiled metallic. There's like no fallout. There's just this really beautiful creaminess to both of these formulas. And I also like that these are not close in tone because this one definitely has more of, I would say like a cool tone. And this one has that like peachy pink. So they're different enough to give you different effects. So I absolutely love, love, love this. I think it's absolutely stunning. And I really do like that you can get just the 6 pan. It's very sleek. I would like to see her come out with like multiple colorways. I guess similarly to how like Hung Van Gogh Beauty came out with palettes, I would love to see Danessa's take on that because these formulas, I mean, her metallics are like next level. I also picked up 2 of the new Kulfi lip liners. This seemed like a really interesting formula. So these are the Lossy Lips Staining Lip Liners. Now we've seen a ton of staining lip liners, but these are different because they're not a marker. These are a roll-up crayon. I will say that when you do roll them up, it clicks and you can't go back down. So just be mindful of that. But I wanted to swatch these. I picked up 2 shades. The first one is La La La, and it does, again, just swatch very much like a typical roll-up lip liner. I went back for Platonic because I thought that La 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 just was a little bit light for my preference. Platonic is really nice and cool toned without being like gray. It's what I'm wearing right now. And I want to let these sit for a minute, but they have this interesting thicker roll up. It's kind of right in the middle. It's not like Freck lip liners because it is thicker than that, but it's not as large as the Rhode. It's kind of an in between. So I think the whole goal is to get that like soft blurred look while also having a stain left behind. I want to just take my baby wipe and just kind of wipe over once, you can see that there is a stain left behind. Now, can I say that the stain is the same color as the lip liner? Not necessarily. Again, they kind of both leave more of like a pink stain behind, and I'm not sure that is going to work for everyone, but I haven't worn these long enough to see if the stain actually does hold and if it does turn pinker than the actual shades, but they are creamy and they feel like they're going to hang on for a good amount of time. I also do like how the caps have the different colors on them, so I'm interested to try these. I will continue to test them out. And then I did also grab the new Makeup by Mario lip liner in Toasty. Now, I'm assuming this is new. Part of me is like, was this like brought back? I can't remember. I feel like my brain is like overloaded with reformulations, new shades, bring back shades, new formula. Like my brain is like la 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 la. Like I can't remember what was released, what wasn't, but I love this formula and I wanted to grab this color. This is a little bit lighter than Travis, which is like my ride or die, but this is more of like a pinky cool tone, probably similar to what I have on right now. I absolutely adore the Makeup by Mario formula. It's just very long lasting, and it does have a brush on the other side to really blend in. This is one of my go-to formulas. Like if I'm going to a wedding or I'm gonna be out all day, I just find that it's just so long wearing, very easy to use. So I picked this up, but I haven't tried it on the lips yet. I did also demo this, but I wanted to share the Summer Fridays lip liner in Toffee. This is a huge dud for me personally. It has zero staying power. You can see that I have a type of lip liner color, but this is a standard pencil. It's, you know, medium creaminess. It's not like slipping all over, but it's not tugging. The problem for me is that this has zero staying power. Like if you go like this immediately, it's basically gone. Whereas the Makeup by Mario, I mean, I'm pushing hard and it's just blurring the edges. And they do claim that this is long wearing. So that is just disappointing to me. There's nothing special about it. And if it's just gonna wear off, I'm not gonna reach for it. Now, in terms of the lip liner stains that are in the marker formula, I did also grab the Summer Fridays. This is the lightest shade called Slipper. I am a huge fan of the Huda Beauty Baby Pink, so I thought this would be similar. It reads a little more neon on me, more of a shade that I would use on the inside versus lining my lips. I'm trying to build it up here. It seems like a middle of the road formula. It's not like overly dry, but it's not really liquidy like some of the deeper shades of the Huda. I thought the wear was decent overall, but again, it just didn't stand out to me. There's nothing really special about it. And now that it's been laying kind of like on its side, it felt a little bit dry to me just now when I swatched it. So overall, I'm just not really thrilled with either of those Summer Fridays purchases, but I was in store the other day and I do like the long lasting effects of the Sephora collection ones. They do have a funky smell, but I'm willing to overlook it. Oh my goodness, can I get this open? But I did pick up the more pink shade, which is called Rosewood Trace. These have a very similar tip to the NYX, and they have a similar vibe overall. I would say that these wear longer, but this one looks like a pretty intense pink berry. This would be one that I would use inside my lips because it's a little bit too bright for my, you know, outlining my lips. But I have found that these last incredibly long, like intensely, impressively long in comparison to some of the other lip liner stains. The only thing is they only have like 4 shades right now, so I hope they expand. But if you're looking for long wearing, this one is great. It is one of those that doesn't apply the most even, so I find that I like to apply it and then immediately just like blur with my fingertip, and then it gives you that like nice diffused line. I did also pick up a few complexion products. We are seeing so many new concealers, new foundations, reformulated foundations. So I've tried a bunch. The first was the MPH La Skin foundation. I absolutely hated this foundation. This foundation was so thin, but so oily. It reminded me, and I was trying to think of this, the Kosas in the white tube with the black cap or like the blue cap that had the little, I guess, like ball in it, and you would shake it. It was almost like that texture. I think it's discontinued now. It's almost like an extremely thin, greasy, tinted SPF, but with more coverage. This did not play with powder. It was horrible. It really like sucked down where I put the powder. It looked patchy, and it also ended up looking dry and textured. It was this really bizarre formula. I just felt like my skin looked super greasy. It was just hard to set down. It's one of those that I feel like you need literally perfect skin, or you need to be somebody that just does not wear powder at all and like the feeling of being like super luminous and sticky. So for me, this was a hard pass. And then also the Milk Hydro Grip. I'm still testing this out, but this is their newest concealer. So I picked up the shade 3. I had heard Jen Phelps rave about this, like before it even popped up on Sephora. And I was like, wow, she said this was like her favorite concealer, like ever. So I had some hopes for it. I do not like this on my under eye. It is so incredibly just emollient. It has that like greasy effect, but it does not have enough coverage for me personally on my under eyes. It just cakes into the lines, and then when you set it with powder, the powder cakes into the lines. So it looks like you have like cakey powder sitting in all of your lines. It just does not work for me on my under eyes. Now, again, if you're somebody that does not use powder, you want lighter coverage, and you don't mind feeling that like stickiness or that really emollient feel, you may like this. For me, I prefer something like the Bobbi Brown Under Eye Corrector. That texture is just better for me, and the coverage is better. Or like the NARS Pot Concealer, but this one just did not work out for me. Now, one that did work out for me is the Patrick Ta Concealer. This was a little surprising because all of his products tend to lean extremely dewy, just overly glowy, luminous, texture enhancing, don't work well with powder. I actually hated the foundation. This, I think, is a new kind of realm for him, and I hope he leans into it more. So this is supposed to be a natural finish. I think, and I hope that some of the makeup artists are learning, the ones that come out with makeup lines are learning that the everyday consumer usually isn't going to want something that is like incredibly luminous, dewy, sticky, not long lasting. Like a lot of these balms and things of that nature, they're pretty for a photo, but in real life, I just don't know how many people want to feel literally tacky all day. We want long wear, we want smoothing, we want all of the things. So I've been really impressed with this. I got the shade 3, and this has a really nice like medium buildable coverage. It has that whipped feel similar to the Charlotte Tilbury. So very similar, but just a little bit more of a natural feel. It has a little bit less coverage. I find it's very brightening. I don't know if it's the shade that I got though, but it is, you know, claiming to be brightening, and it definitely is. Very smooth on the under eyes. Now, I don't think that it's hydrating, but I don't think that it's drying. It's just like right in the middle. So wherever your under eyes are at, it's going to follow suit. Like today, I'm wearing it. My under eyes are looking dry. I have to be honest, I haven't done my skincare in a few days. I'm just feeling lazy. My neck is killing me. I have my Botox for my dystonia, It's in like 10 days, maybe a little bit longer. And I'm like on the struggle bus where basically my Botox is worn off. My neck hurts. I'm not getting sleep. It's a whole thing. So my under eyes, I noticed today, look a little bit drier, and it's my own fault. So I just like how brightening this is, how smoothing it is. And it just plays well with powder, wears all day. It's a really beautiful formula. If you need more coverage, I would recommend the Charlotte Tilbury, but I'm enjoying both equally. I'm also absolutely loving this strawberry jam fragrance from Seven Virtues. This to me is very similar to the Kaoli Bougie Marshmallow, but it has more of that like jam than the marshmallow. If you love the Kaoli, I think you're going to love this. If you have the Kaoli and you're like, is it different enough? I don't think it's different enough, but I have been absolutely loving it. It just has a little bit less of that marshmallow and more of the strawberry. So it has that like juiciness. Very gourmand. I think it is so delicious. And then I did pick up this YSL tubing mascara. I am not impressed with this. This has one of those small wands and it really gets in there and gives you that separation, but I find that this has not much product on it. It's one of those that like I'm continuing to apply and like nothing's happening. And I'm continuing trying to build and nothing's happening. I almost feel like it made my lashes look like shorter. It just was not doing me any favors. It's just nothing special, not something that I feel like I'm gonna reach for because I have others that I absolutely love. And then I also grabbed this Tatcha serum stick. Now this is a little bit random, but I have been following or seeing videos on my TikTok feed of almost 40, over 40 mature women, and they had gorgeous skin. So I was following their recommendations. My skin is changing as I get older. It's more dry. I'm noticing issues I never did before. And I want to try this on my under eyes before I go in with concealer. A lot of these under eye sticks have like vitamin C or retinol, something like that, and it just dries me out even more. But this one is just the serum stick. It feels pretty stiff initially, but then it really does warm up once it touches the skin. It has that really balmy, sort of like greasy feel, but it's very thin. So I'm wondering if it will play well if you let it settle long enough. So my goal is to apply this under my eyes and then apply my concealer so that I can have more of that hydrated look. So I'll have to report back on this one, but I am looking for anything that is going to give me hydration and put together without slipping and sliding all over my face, gunking up, or just making my powder bunch up and look cakey. Another product I got when watching the TikTok videos of mature women recommending skincare favorites, this is the Edam Ultra Calming Rescue Mist. The packaging is stunning. It's real glass. It's quite heavy. This was supposed to be great for calming and soothing, especially redness. So it says that you can spray this on bare skin or you can use throughout the day. It says you can also use this over makeup. Now, I haven't tried that yet, but I did use this before my makeup today, and I've used it a few other times. The spray or mister is actually quite nice because it's more of a targeted spray. So I find that you actually get more of the serum like on your face. The texture is very light, like a very light liquid toner. I do find that this has a nice amount of hydration without being sticky or heavy or greasy. And I was worried about it enhancing my texture underneath my makeup, but because this is so thin, I like it as a base under my makeup. So I want to try it next over my makeup. I am a little bit nervous just because I don't know if it's going to separate or just kind of make my makeup slide off. So I will update on that, but it hasn't caused any irritation. It's, really nice and calming on the skin. It does have a kind of herbal scent, like a spa-like scent. So if you don't like that, that's something to note, but I am impressed so far and I want to try more products from this brand. And while we're talking about the brand, I did pick up 2 of the new colors in their softening lip balm. Now, I had talked about this previously where I tried a deeper shade many months ago, and it was just goopy, it was patchy, it was not hydrating, and I don't know if I got a bad batch because so many of you said you love this formula. So I went back and got both of the new shades, and I absolutely love these. So we have the really beautiful shimmery Chateau Rose. These are so stunning. They have a metal applicator tip. And then I also got the Sakura Shaved Ice, which I think is probably gonna be a favorite because it has that really pretty pink tint. But these are very hydrating. They do give you that really glossy, shiny look to the lips. I don't find them to be sticky though, and these colors are stunning. I don't know what happened with the first batch that I tried because it was not hydrating. It just felt horrible on my lips, and these feel so nice, so shiny, so comfortable. I have been using these a ton, and these colors are perfect if you love like the baby pinks. So really excited that they came out with those because I do think they needed some lighter tones. And then I was in store. I hadn't heard many people talk about this, but I know that I have an issue because every time I go in store, I end up buying like 75 pink glosses or pink lipsticks or blushes. That's like my issue. I am just obsessed. But I went over and swatched these. These are the Kulfi Lip Snack Glossing Lip Balms. I think we all have lip balm fatigue, but if it does have some pigment to it, I am definitely down to try it. So I got watermelon, is it sorbet or sherbet? Watermelon sherbet. I swatched this in store. These actually had a really nice amount of pigment. This is a really milky, almost think like NARS Turkish Delight color in a lip balm. So it has that milkiness and it just made me want to try it. It smells delicious, like watermelon. I love when I see balms that actually have pigment, and all 3 of these do have like just enough to give me something different and not just like a clear color. And while I was in the pink lip gloss trenches, I had to get this, and I'm not sure if I missed this online. This is the Fenty Beauty What a Brat lip balm, and this color just got me instantly. It looked like they had a hot pink and then they had this lighter pink. I believe I got the last one because people were loving this. Now I know that a lot of people ride for this formula. I think this is a really nice formula. It's just a standard, really hydrating, really shiny, thicker formula, but this has so much sparkle in it that it got me immediately. So many fine shimmers in there. It doesn't appear to feel gritty at all. So this was gonna give the perfect like Barbie sparkle to the lips. I did try this on before I started filming today. It definitely leans cool. So it was a little bit too cool for like my blush and my eyeshadow. So I ended up switching it out, but it had that really pretty sparkle to it. It just had like a pink reflect rather than just like, you know, a champagne or gold reflect in terms of the actual glitters. But when I saw this and swatched it on my hand, I was like, you're going home with me. And against my better judgment, I had to get another Glossier blush naturally. I'm not sure why. I have 5 now. I just need them all. They're so beautiful. So this is Bloom. It is the just like bright pink. There's just something so special about this texture. If you're a fan of the Sochi blushes, which are incredible. They're very similar on the skin. The Sochi blushes are creamier. They have more of like a bounce to them. These feel like a silicone sort of slip that is just interesting because they're so like weightless. There's just something special about how blurring and just seamless these look on the cheeks. You can apply these over your nose, really just everywhere because it's literally weightless. Like you can't even feel this. It truly is a cream powder hybrid. I also love that you can tell which shade is which just by looking at the case. So I now have 5 shades. I just think they're incredible. I use mine over powder just because I feel like they blend beautifully and they are just one of my favorites of the year. And then I did pick up the Patrick Ta blush duos in the newest shades. Now I am totally late to this, but I did put on some of this powder today. This is the color Soft Launch. So of course you do get the cream and then the powder. There's a little flap to keep them apart. And then he actually says to apply the powder first and then apply the cream on top to really bring your cheeks to life. And I have to say that it is one of the only brands that works for me. I have noticed though in the recent, I would say like 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, it seems like his cream formula has become more balmy, a little more sheer, and I don't necessarily love that. I haven't tried the cream side of these on my cheeks yet, but this is the shade Thank Me Later. So this one is definitely leaning into that like purple lilac realm, but just looking at the cream side, it just looks more sheer, a little bit more like tacky, almost like that balmy, sticky feel, which I don't personally love. I hope that they haven't changed. If you know anything about that though, let us know in the comments because I was like ride or die for this formula. I used to go absolutely insane for this formula and I still do love, like I have a ton of the colors, but I feel like that 1 year for the holidays when he came out with the palette and it was a different formula on the cream side where they were like really illuminating and they had more of that like sticky sheer look. That's when things started changing a little bit. And ever since then, I've sort of just like backed off, but I do love both of these shades and I do love the powder side, don't get me wrong. So I'm gonna have to update on the cream side because I haven't yet put that on my cheeks. And while I was scrolling the Sephora app, as one does, I saw these pop up and then they went on sale. It was kind of strange, like within a few days of launching. So I did grab these from LYS Beauty. So these are the pre-glued lash clusters. I got the uplifted style, which is not as dramatic as the other style. So I'm wearing them today and they're very, very pretty. But I will say that I feel like both sides of them are sticky, and I'm not sure if that's because they want you to have the option to apply these like under your natural lash or over. But I had an issue with them being like so tacky when I was using tweezers to like tweeze my lashes together that I had to use I think it's the Kiss seal. I have like the Bond and Seal where you can put the seal on and it kind of takes away that tackiness and then I could clamp them together. I would say if you've tried the Kiss or really like any other brand, these are pretty comparable. I would say the lashes seem a little bit better in terms of the quality. They don't like rip apart and the application process is similar, other than I just felt like these were more sticky. So it was kind of hard to clamp them together unless you have something like that sealant to use in between. So I think they're nice, but I'm not going to tell you like you need them. And then I did also pick up 2 hair products because my hair has just been driving me crazy as per usual. I always have this issue where I have different cowlicks. So this is my bang and it wants to do this, right? And I don't want it in my face. I want it to sit right like this, but usually it keeps going this way and then this pushes it forward. So like these two are fighting each other. So I have to be really strategic in how I style my bang here. So pretty much like every 15 minutes, I have to hit it with hairspray because it just keeps falling forward. So it's just a whole thing, especially because I have sensory issues. It drives me crazy. But I picked up this Color Wow Texas Hold'em hairspray. So I've had good luck with Color Wow. This was highly rated. So I have been using this today and I will say that it's working pretty well. A lot of times hairsprays that actually do hold enough are like cement and you can't brush through them. This one I feel like you can lightly brush through if you need to, but it still has that hold. So I'm pretty impressed with this so far. I don't feel like the scent is anything, you know, offensive. It's just like a basic hairspray scent, which I prefer. I don't want something that's like, you know, floral or anything like that. But yeah, I just like hit my bangs like that every so often. Unfortunately, I don't think that I'm ever going to be able to fix that issue. I have gotten to the point where I saw a girl on TikTok with a similar issue, and she took lash glue, like a little dot of it, and actually like glued her bangs where she wanted them to be. I have done that. I fear I have done that. I've done that a couple times, and then I forget later in the day and I, you know, take a brush through and rip my hair out. So that's like a last resort type of thing, but I've done it when I've been crashing out before and it does work. And then I also did grab this. This is the Moroccan Oil Root Boost for fine to medium hair, but it has kind of like that mousse, I don't know, hairspray hybrid nozzle. Now, people said that it was incredible for giving like volume and texture to their really limp, fine hair. So my problem is, again, I need the lift right around my bang area so that it can lift up and fight all of this hair that's fighting with it, okay? I tried this yesterday. I felt like it felt a little heavy, a little greasy in my root area initially, but today I woke up and this is second day hair. I didn't feel that. So I don't know if it's just like initially or what. So I'm gonna have to continue to try this. It says to just apply to damp hair right at the root and then blow it out with your roots kind of like combing up for volume. I don't know if this is gonna be a favorite of mine. I'm much more like initially impressed by this hairspray. So those are my thoughts, and I think everything that I picked up from Sephora recently. I do have some of the Armani blushes on the way. I bought 3 new shades, so I'm really excited for those to come. And then I also did get a sample of the new Armani reformulated foundation, as well as the new Double Wear reformulation. I just didn't want to waste money and spend, you know, $50 on all of these different foundations before I know that I love them. Similarly to like the new Dior, I think it's the Glow and the Matte. I mean, everything is being reformulated, so I want to try them for you guys. But I did go in store and get those 2 samples. Hopefully I can get some of the Dior samples as well, just to give you my thoughts and, you know, demo if you're interested. So I think that is everything that I wanted to share. Of course, I will link everything down below and on the screen. I will also link my makeup. I'm wearing some of the products and then some other products that I purchased. I did have a ton of stuff to share that I purchased from Ulta, but honestly, this video, like just looking at how long I've been filming, it's gonna be a long one. So I think I'm gonna include some of those tomorrow. I'm going to be filming a trying new makeup with a bunch of these products and then some other ones I purchased. So be on the lookout for that, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know if you've tried these products. Let me know if you've been loving any of them, what you've been picking up, what you're passing on, and I really wanna know what you want me to film with most, because that will help me out on what products to feature. I did also get some PR right before I started filming this of a few new products from like Hung Van Gogh and Benefit and a fragrance. So I will include everything that I can in that next video. But if you did enjoy this video and you do like Sephora hauls, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. As always, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.